Good morning, guys, and welcome to the news. Oh boy, who's excited about the news? This guy. But before we get to the news, weather. What do we got this morning, Fernando?
We're in the 80s right now.
Yeah.
Still gonna be like 89 later today.
Yeah.
With a 75%
chance of rain.
Yes.
I was gonna say you got to finish this sentence there. With a 75.
With the
All
70,
right.
and I think it's already raining.
I mean, it was raining elsewhere.
Yeah.
You could, we could see the rain, but well, we'll see. I mean, we just heard thunder. Lightning and the thunder. But today we got a jam-packed show for you. It's great. I love after Thursday nights when I get to sit down and I'm praying that there's a whole bunch of news, and then you're some weeks you're like, oh my gosh, and this was one of those where we got tons of cool stuff to talk about. Checking in from Springfield, it's Dave,
Massachusetts.
60 with a high of 75. Cargill, good morning. What's going on the other side of the planet? Good morning.
Good morning, guys.
Morning, fellas. I hope everyone is having a fantastic day. Good morning. What's up? What's up, Scott? Johnny. John. Good evening, y'all. I'm sure he has to deal with that. That's why I go by Dean.
when he was baby.
Good morning from Central Vermont, 55 and sunny.
Very nice.
Does it ever get, every time I see Pizza Dave, I'm like, we should go to Vermont, try his pizza. That's something stupid I would do. 83 in Orlando.
Yes.
From the says fanboy number 1. 66 sunny in Cedar Point, Coaster Park, Ohio. It's funny, when I was in Michigan as a kid, everyone would always go to Cedar Point because that was like the closest park.
Okay.
I had no idea what they were talking about because I was a kid and I didn't know anything about theme parks or lands or any of that fun stuff. I was like, we're going to Cedar Point this weekend. I'm like, I don't know what that means.
Good for you.
Yeah. Have a whatever time. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Sunny, North Carolina, 77, high of 90. That's expected. 91 with a high of 110 in Phoenix. That's more like expected.
Crazy.
Yes. Yeah, I could see that. Good morning, guys, from York, Pennsylvania. Hey, Northern Indiana checking in at 64.
Yeah.
East Tennessee, 77, 78% humidity, and high of 91.
Starting now.
Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah.
Good morning, foggy, 53, the Pacific Northwest.
There you go.
There again, that's pretty much what you're looking at.
Good morning.
Fang, thank you for stopping by. You have a great time. Good night. Good night. Yes, Australia. You have a wonderful evening as well.
Yeah.
Good morning, guys, from Puerto Rico. A cup of coffee and have a great day.
That's it, bro. That's it.
Let's see. Good morning from Fort Lauderdale.
That's right.
Now this is a good morning. I always just went to Michigan Adventure as a kid.
Nice.
We didn't do anything, man. We're just broke-ass white people. We never went anywhere. Our idea of a theme park was the field. We're going to the field. York, PA, 68 degrees. Yeah, we just go to the field and burn stuff and play in the snow and stuff like that. Ian Fernando, raining. 71 in Portugal. I didn't think it rained on that side.
That's the place that I really want to go.
Portugal?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Good morning from Florida. Good place to be.
Yeah. It's a great place to be.
Morning car gifting crew. Hey.
What up?
But anyways, we got some really good news for you. Thank you guys for chiming in.
Okay.
I hope everyone is going to have a spectacular day today. And we hope this kind of rolls it out and starts. First, we'd like to pop this guy up here. It says, we get the news from a little place called CE Outlook. So if you want to know more about the news that we're going to talk about today, or you want to go and read the other stories that we didn't cover, or just want to click on and say hi, you can head over to coutlook.com, the place where we find all this, as well as there are links in the description as always, so that life will be fantastic. All right, let's shut that off and let's go to this guy here. So first up, new product news.
Yeah.
If you caught us on one of the Saturdays, I think it was a Monday show, we talked about some of the stuff that we found out at Knowledge Fest Atlantic City, and one of them was the new Pioneer radio. Pioneer ships low cost Maestro. Yeah, let me remove this. Dex. Yeah. So to no surprise, here it is. So we showed a picture of this, and yeah, if anybody's interested in bad sound at cheap money, then you're all set and ready to go. I get it. I don't get it. I mean, I understand why we have to keep coming out with radios that are just crappy.
Yeah.
And then pretending like we're supposed to be excited about it. I just can't do it anymore. So it is what it is. One of the biggest complaints I have about this deck is that it's got the short front end on it, so it doesn't really fit any dash kits.
Yeah.
Because it's only like less than it's like a 1/16 of an inch, that trim from the back piece of the trim. So it just looks like crap in every dash kit. One of the big things on Kenwood this year was fixing that problem, because we made such a stink about it. Literally to the fact that we had that radio sitting here, and we would take pictures of it in all the dash kits. Like every car we do a dash kit, I had a 708, and I would take a picture and send it to Kenwood. They asked me to do that because I was like, this sucks. And they changed it. They, of course, didn't have the same fun. Anyways, if anybody's looking for an inexpensive radio that'll work with Maestro, Pioneer's got you covered. So good on them. And speaking of interfacing with a car, PAC finally introduces the GM radio replacement. Now, I know what you're saying. They've had GM radio replacements for years, and they have. This is the updated version that will finally work with the Bose system. Yeah, this is one of those weird ones that we've just been waiting for years and years and years now, and to the point to where I feel most people are just taking the Bose system out. But there's, I'm sure, a handful of guys out there that are going to be like the late to the table guys that have waited. And, well, guess what? Now you're in luck. They have two versions of the radio replacement that will allow you to keep the Bose system. Why? But this is the unit here. It does not retain any. It does not retain any of the factory features built into the radio, because this is just a radio replacement harness, not like iData that actually like ports up to the radio. So basically, how these work, for those of you that have never installed one of these and are wondering, your car retains whatever settings it had before the radio was pulled out. Most people don't even know there's settings in the radio. But once you pull them out, you're just removing the controller. It's like unplugging the keyboard from your desktop. Doesn't really do anything. They'll just, all those factory settings will stay the exact same way that you made them before you took the radio out. They will not reset. They will not, if you disconnect the battery, they don't do any of that fun stuff. However, this allows you to put a new radio in, interface with the Bose amplifier as well as the non-Bose amplifier. Obviously, there's no reason why they wouldn't, because they had that ability before. And it'll give you all the necessary things. Retains your backup camera, retains your steering wheel controls. If you have, what is that stupid? OnStar. If you have OnStar, it will retain your OnStar. So as far as like all the peripherals and life things that you want to do, all those will still be there. But yeah, we finally have Bose integration. It's kind of nice. This will, believe it or not, this will be a big deal, because I know there's been plenty of times where we've just had to pass on this because the customers didn't want to update their audio system. So what's the model years on this?
One is the GM.
No, the model years. I know that I don't want the part.
From 2014 to 2018.
Yeah, perfect.
Yep.
That's all we need. Moving on, also in that same genre of PAC, same company, Stinger introduces the anyways, they introduced dash cams. So Stinger has brought an in-house brand of dash cams to the table, because we all know dash cams are becoming extremely popular. So they've decided to private label their own Stinger dash cams. So if you've got your Stinger i10 and your stuff and you'd like a matching dash cam,
you got Stinger everything.
You'll have Stinger everything. You know, it was funny. I wonder if they're, you know, because we have the Echo Master, and you know, Stinger is trying to bring I wonder if they're going to change the name of Echo Master to Stinger, or at least like take the automotive side of it, and make it Stinger. Like I get keeping like the industrial side of it, Echo Master, but you know, it kind of, you know, because people like brand names that match, right? So it would be interesting to see if they're going to come out with like a Stinger camera, you know, not an Echo Master camera, just so it all falls under the same umbrella. You know?
Echo Master by Stinger.
Well, because a lot of people get confused, right? They
like that.
They buy Stinger radio and then you got to
buy Stinger.
Yeah, well, they put their name on there at least. So I mean, you know, it's a Stinger product and it says Stinger all over it. So
yeah.
It's a front and rear dash cam. It's got the 4K. It's got the 2K. It's got the it's 2K.
Yeah.
It has all the cool features that you're looking for in dash cam. So if you're interested, you know, the dash cam, we got them. Got so much dash camage.
You need to have a dash cam in your car.
Yeah, and everyone's coming out with new dash cams. We have a brand new Kenwood dash cam sitting over here that we'll be taking a look at here shortly. Because Fernando needs a dash cam in his car, so there we go. We got dash cams. Also, in case you didn't know this, the Kicker shipping the Warhorse amplifier. This is one of those weird things because, like, I feel like we've been talking about the Warhorse amplifier for a very long time, like a long time. Like it just feels like it's been everywhere. Like, and there again. You know, we've seen it at shows. We have one sitting over there that we've had now for a while. They've let everyone kind of talk about it. We got in trouble for trying to talk about it early, so that was always fun.
You always get in trouble.
We always get in trouble. Keep that page up. Roll it up right there, because I don't think a lot of people know about that stuff. But it is finally going to ship. So if you've been waiting, pardon me, patiently, and you're not in the cool, we get free stuff crew from, you know, we're going to go bang heads and do bass monstery stuff, you're not part of Team Warhorse or whatever they're calling it, then you can now finally purchase one of these amplifiers, which is pretty cool because it is an impressive amplifier for sure. One other thing that a lot of people don't know about, which I was like kind of surprised, is that there is a full complement of powering, wiring, and distribution blocks and all that for the Warhorse. So they've come out with fuse holders, zero gauge kits. I'm sure there's probably a breaker of some kind. But yeah. So, you know, if you'd like to get a Warhorse and you'd like to finish it all off with the whole kit, as it were, you like to have, or you just you don't want a Warhorse, but you really like some cool looking distribution blocks and power wire, they have all that stuff for you. So that's going to be really cool. I've personally been waiting for this stuff because I think some of this stuff is really cool. I've been wanting to get my hands on it. It just hasn't. This is the stuff that they're like, no, we literally got like 2 pieces. And I'm like, really? Come on, man.
Yeah.
Well, send me one of them. But they've been passing around on the show circuit. We've seen them on the floors of many shows. So I'm just like, can I just take this with me?
No, and they look nice.
Oh, they look gorgeous.
We saw them, and you know.
Yeah, they look gorgeous. I remember the first time I saw them, I was like, what the hell are these?
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, you guys suck. Like, you gotta tell me this stuff. But no, so I think these are going to be extremely popular just from the simple fact that not everybody wants to put a 4,000 watt amplifier in their car, but a lot of people need power distribution.
Yes.
So that'll be nice to get your hands on this and, you know, see what they look like, see what they feel. Also in the news, let me go back over to here. Oh, let me go. Hold on. Hi guys.
Hi.
Let's go. Wait, where the heck did it go? It's that one. Sorry. Little button pressing issue as always. Boss adds another designer veteran. So in the goals of taking over the radio world, Boss has added another pretty awesome person to their complement of, like, their deck of cards is getting pretty full, guys. I mean, I don't really know what they're doing because they haven't told us yet. We are in talks with them, which is great.
They're
but
taking the world.
They are definitely planning some strategy here or something big. I mean, I don't know what else to say, but they have, or what else to say, but they have like a massive crew of people. The gentleman here comes from he's in what, industrial design.
Yeah.
Boston Technology. He grew up in the industry working for Alpine.
Yep.
Designed a lot. He basically owns 10 patents, most of them on navigation systems. So he invented he worked on the first GUI for introducing navigation into the vehicle. He's also worked for Honda. So he has quite a resume of both.
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing for sure. So he's now been acquired by BIG, which is Boss International Group.
Very nice. Yeah.
So it's pretty cool. I'm just like I said, their deck of cards is getting pretty full. I mean, I'm curious. I'm waiting for them to just like rummy, drop it down, and just like I feel like they're holding all their cards. Now they do have a product release coming out in July next month where they're going to be reducing some new radios. I don't think this isn't what we're building up to. This is just like the natural transition of things that like here are the things that were already in the pipeline before the current administration came in and is starting to make changes. It's just products that they have to come out. They're telling us that they are great products, but these aren't the products. These aren't the droids you're looking for. So I'd be curious to see what the hell they got.
What are they cooking?
Yeah, because you don't acquire this much manpower to be like, yeah, we came out with some cheap head units that work with high data. I don't see that happening.
No, I think it's the opposite. And then we see them before, like they trying to, scale up on every product that they start coming out. So
yeah,
very nice.
Yeah. And then again, they have the money to do it apparently.
Yeah. I mean, I can wait to have a.
Yeah. No, it'll be interesting. And you're correct. I don't know about this, but the main brands have shortened their model offerings. To some regards, yes. To some regards, no. So if you break that out into like, if you take them individually, like you start with Alpine. Alpine has been shortening their model offerings for years. As far as the head units go, like they don't have a ton of head units anymore. But they started that long time ago. The 650, when that came out, was kind of one of the they had done it before then, but the 650 was one of those products where it was like they kept it in the line for like 4 or 5 years. It seemed like it was forever. And ever since then, they've followed suit. The only time they come out with a new radio is when it's a full big new platform change, like when they came out with the 507, 509, and 511, and that was like 3 years ago now. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Kenwood has held on to a lot of their products, but they still have a giant SKU list, and that's part of the problem. It's like they still make way too many SKUs that make any sense. They have 3 9 series radios. It's like, why do we need 3? Because they're still the Japanese mindset of, we have to list all features and we have to have variables of each. So as far as Kenwood is concerned and Pioneer, they still have way too many SKUs to make sense in this world, but they don't want to miss out. They want to have something at every $20 or $30 intervals, it seems. Yeah. Sony is they're again in the middle. They make SKUs that they think are important to moving themselves forward. They don't have a lot of SKUs because they know they're not one of the biggest players in the game, depending on where you're at in the country. But they have the SKUs that matter the most to them. Yeah. So, yeah, and there again, they like to update when they feel it's necessary. They're not updating every year now, which is great. I feel out of all of them, that's the best move you can make is stop coming out with a new radio every year because we don't need it. No one cares enough anymore to where it's like, bro, do you have the new X model? It just came out. Oh, I got to get rid of the Y model I bought last year. So it'll be interesting. Yeah. Good to see Boss making moves. Yeah, it's exciting. The reality is that the big brands aren't doing anything exciting as far as I'm concerned. Like they're not. Even if Boss doesn't come out with the next game-changing product, at least there's movement there. At least there's some excitement. There's something to look at. There's something to be like, look, something is happening. A company that is actually like developing something that maybe get excited about.
Well, like you say, you as a company, you don't hire that much manpower to just sit down and do the same thing. Right. It gotta be something that they doing, and hey,
I love my friends at Pioneer, but when we're standing on the show floor, they're like, the most exciting thing they have to show me is an inexpensive radio that down does Maestro. I don't. That's not moving the needle for anybody here. Like we don't care. You're basically now telling us that, oh great, so now somebody that has no idea what they're doing can come in and say, do you have this radio that's super cheap that'll work with Maestro? I want to put it in my car, and they think because it says Pioneer, it's going to sound good or be amazing and all this other fun stuff, or it says brand, whatever. And it's like, why would I get excited about that? Why, like all the stuff here I have to see, you're going to show me something cheap that I'm going to not make any money on.
And for years and years, we kind of pick on Boss just because.
You picked on all those.
No, I would never do that.
You pick on all of them because they're second-tier radio manufacturers, and this is a second-tier radio. Currently is one of those.
Ada has a great point. After the pandemic, they just keep going because that was one of the brands that they keep pushing radios when we didn't have radios.
Right.
And after that, maybe they saw the potential that they have, and it's like, okay, let's use everything that we have and pour to bring the company up.
Like when we were in Atlantic City and I was standing there talking with them with Ada, and Ada walks up and he pulls the screen off of the radio while he's standing there and he's looking at it, and then he pops it back in, and I'm going, okay. We're over here fighting to put 4 screws in the back of these overly complicated bracketry systems.
Yeah.
That it's like you can't countersink things in, you can't do all this crap. And here this guy, is it click and the thing comes out and you look at it going,
dude, that's smart because this is just
it just snaps
take it out.
It's
like you don't have to.
It's way better design. And there again, I the people that they're hiring makes the most sense because, like, if you look at the GUI is where, like, okay, so this is funny. We pick on their GUI, but then if you look at Sony's GUI is like the most basic goddamn GUI ever. Like, it's like, and then it's not bad. It's just really basic, and that's the goal for them. They're like, if you don't want flashy whirly twirlies and menus 6 layers deep and everything,
simple,
you buy a Sony because it's simple. And I'm used to like the Alpine GUI or the Kenwood GUI where there's lots of lights, a lot of stuff happening. So, when I look at the Boss, I go, oh, it's kind of basic. And then when I was there this time looking at it going, it's not as basic as Sony. So, it was like, okay, so maybe the GUI isn't the most important thing. It's just a thing, and every manufacturer should approach it the way they want people to view themselves.
Do you think it's because Japan, I mean, I'm just saying, like Sony, it's like they trying to keep it as OEM look as possible? Because OEM radios are very basic. One color. Yeah. Now they start bringing more like ambient lights and all that stuff with the radios, but before was
the GUI
one color, blue,
still,
white,
it's still very basic,
or orange.
Yeah. Well, I think too that the mindset of the aftermarket is that it has to be flashy. It has to be flashy because we just took this basic radio out of your dash, and we want to put, because people like strip clubs, man. I mean, it's really what it comes down to. We like disco lights and loud music, and exactly
this weekend. Let's go.
So. I feel Sony didn't go that way on that. They were just like, no, let's just follow. You're replacing your radio for a reason.
Well, they are the good guys. I don't want to go to that place.
Yeah, I don't buy into that for a minute. But
anyways, so hey, good for Boss that is doing moves.
Yeah, it's just because you're an iPhone user. Android people can do all the cool things. They can have. All neat, whirly, twirly, funny stuff. See, iPhone people are just basic because we live in that closed world, not the open one that the Android guys live in. Mm-hmm. Just saying.
Okay.
That's what, well, at least that's what they always tell me.
I just want to have an Android just to be what kind of open world they have.
I like my closed, I like living in a bubble. Also, to wrap things up here, the new,
huh?
Oh God! New Hall of Fame for the 12-volt industry.
I didn't know that we play.
I didn't know. I didn't know. Sometimes you don't know you need something until they put it in front of you, and you go, "Okay, we needed that."
Yeah, sure.
So, yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
You gotta tell me what's going on.
I don't
Yeah.
even know how to deal with this one. So basically, for those of you guys that have never been to a Knowledge Fest, don't know anything about Knowledge Fest. Knowledge Fest is one of right now there's 3 industry events that are held every year. You have Mobile Electronics does Knowledge Fest, which this year was 4 events, will be 4 events. It starts in Vegas, went to Tennessee, went to Atlantic City. It's going to end in Dallas. And how that breaks out is it's one too many shows. Secondly, we have the CMA, which is done up in Canada. This year was in Toronto. And then thirdly, we have MasterTech Expo, which is the down in Arizona, put on by Mobile Solutions and the likes. And it's geared more towards hands-on. So each one of them is a little bit different. Okay, that's the easiest way to say it. They all have the things that they're good at. Vegas, when we do this, is the industry awards, which most of you guys have heard of because we've ran in the past. You have Installer of the Year and Retailer of the Year and Sales Guy of the Year. All of that used to happen in Dallas. Okay, but then they decided to take it from Dallas and move it to Vegas. Not my idea. I liked it in Dallas. I thought that was a better place to do it. But anyways, so that starts off the year in January, sometimes February, just depends on the calendar goes. And then as the year kind of rolls out, we get 3 other events. Supposedly next year we're only going to have 2 other events. But one of the things that they've decided to do is the new Hall of Fame Entry Awards in Dallas. I don't know. I don't know if we needed this. I don't know if this is going to draw anyone out to this. I don't even know. I'm at a loss. So they're talking about, giving awards to industry people that have been influential or have benchmarked or have moved the needle forward, which I'm all for. I love recognizing people that have done things for the industry, which I thought we'd already done and I thought we were currently doing. But the problem that I see is that this became apparent when we were at one of the events and Fernando got to meet a certain individual that was really big in the 90s. And
that was
we know who it was. I'm not naming names.
Okay.
So the problem is Fernando was talking with him and Fernando had to pardon himself and say, listen, I'm sorry. I don't know who you are. This wasn't my thing back in the 90s. I wasn't even in car audio. I was still playing with G.I. Joe and the Kung Fu Grip.
That was awesome.
Which was cool. So as cool as I think all this is, you're not from my time. So I'd like to get to know you as a person now. And they did, and they became friends, and they had a really good time. I think partly because the guy was like, oh, you're not a fanboy. He's like, I don't even know who you are. So to me, I look at the current state of things. And in this industry, I feel we have old people like myself. We have young people that are you and younger. Okay. And it's weird, right?
Yeah.
And
our generation is better than yours.
Of course, 100%. And so when I look at it and I go, like our generation, I don't care. Like I don't care. I don't want to give an award to people that did stuff in the 80s. I really no one even knows who these people are anymore. And really to me it's not as relevant as it used to be because it was the 80s. Like, and so do we just give it to new guys so that people your age and below know who they are? Because if we give it to a bunch of 90s guys, you guys aren't going to have a clue. It's like, this is kind of weird.
I feel when you're going to give something to somebody, it's to, yes.
I want to give an award to Doug.
Like, exactly. For example, like Doug, that he's been moving stuff. Like he worked for this company. And
well, it's not that he's, okay, yeah, it doesn't matter. No. It's not that Doug has worked for companies. It's that Doug is consistent.
That's what I'm going.
Doug has always been Doug.
So he worked here and moved the needle here, and then now he passes to this and keeps helping.
So you gotta understand, Soundman isn't in the industry. Okay, he's a YouTuber 100% of the time. He really doesn't do anything. He does things, but not in industry. And it being an industry award, I don't see where he would fit into this. So as much as I love watching Doug's shenanigans too, which I do. He's really, it's a whole different thing, right? If there's an award for iPad dash kits or being the guy that brought iPad dash kits to the forefront, then yes, I would totally.
Okay, so you don't think that specific he that contribution that he did, and I
what I think Doug does is Doug keeps people in the industry. All the guys that talk about, all the YouTubers or influencers, or call them whatever you will, like us and them and him and Steve and Derek and all. The list is long. Pardon me. The list is long now.
Yeah,
they are. But the problem is that most industry side of things, which we get to teeter that line, and not many people do, is that on the industry side of things, these people don't even exist. Okay? They don't.
Okay.
On the fanboy side of things, on the opposite side, where we get to spend some time, they exist. So, like, everyone here is like, well, not everyone here, but all the fanboys that are here are like, Doug. And it's like, yes. But on industry side, they're like, who? Because he's not relevant to the industry.
Okay, so
in the sense of industry looking out, which is a problem. Don't get me wrong. I'm not defending that. The problem is that we get really self-absorbed. Every industry does. So
okay, but if we pick the Hall of Fame, right? And I'm just going for like the football side of it. How they pick the Hall of Fame is like your career has been that much, right?
Yeah.
And you're retired. You're not playing anymore in the industry.
Yeah.
You're done.
Right.
So you're going to be in the Hall of Fame for what you did.
But he understands what I'm saying. So as long as Dave gets it, that's because you and I will never agree on anything.
No, correct. So I don't know.
They just have a best 12-ball team.
Who is going to be
at country music duos? The duos, yeah. I could do a duo. Well, mark me fanboy award. And there again, I'm with you on that. So he's not known in the corporate side, or just yes, exactly. Yeah, he's it's a weird thing. So we get fortunate enough to where we get to play in both. Like we get to play with fan people that are really into the industry, which to me is I like our opportunity that we've created for ourselves to be able to go. And because the whole purpose of what we started here was to talk to the consumer fanboy group and get them to come into retailers or get them to just buy product. Like, to me, talking to industry people is sometimes like trying to push a concrete wall. It doesn't get you anywhere. Whereas talking to the end user or the fan makes way more sense. Okay, way more sense, because you guys are the ones that make our on the sales or on the other side possible. That's why we created this, is so that we could reach out to the end user and also get out of our bubble, because that's the problem that happens. You get caught up in this little world that you're in, and it's not reality anymore because everything else is happening outside of you. We wanted to step out of that and be like, all right, what are people really interested in? And I think we've done a good job at that. I think Doug has done a good job at that, and all the influencers, as they like to call us. But it'll be interesting. I don't know how this award is going to play out, because like if they give this to like Jim Fosgate, what good does that do for anybody? You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. Great guy, I guess. I don't know. Didn't know him.
Not my time.
Not my time. He sold the company pretty quick, according to, Steve Irby, 100%. There again, I give him all the awards because this, he's still doing it. He's still doing it. I mean, he was out there at the Basshead show doing Basshead things, meeting the Basshead people. And it's like, this guy is still doing it. He's 70 plus years old, and he's still, at the end of the day, a car audio fanboy. I love that. I mean, I hope to have that guy's enthusiasm when I'm his age. I don't know if it's going to be possible, but, yes, all the awards should go to Steve. And he's just the coolest guy on the planet. So, lifetime, and there again, I hate lifetime achievement awards. I just like giving awards that are like, this guy's a badass. Here you go. This guy gets an award for being a badass. He says, yeah, exactly like me. I'm in the 12 industry side mostly. Exactly. And there again, we've had people in the past come to us and be like, hey, we guys talk about our stuff. And it's like, well, who do you want us to talk to? Industry or outside of industry?
Okay, so
what?
Yeah, I know. It's like, it's a Hall of Fame for the 12 industry. So
correct.
Technically, the outside doesn't count. Or what?
Yeah, I mean, Doug was in the industry years ago, but now he's off doing his own thing. So it's in there again. I don't mean to use Doug as an example. I mean,
No,
Dave brought it up. I'm not, just using it as an example. You could insert anyone's name there. It doesn't really matter. Oh yeah, Fishman for the Hall of Fame. Do you know who Fishman is?
I have no idea.
Exactly, no idea who he is.
Yes. That was from Hellboy, the movie. Yes. Fishman. Yeah, exactly.
Gary Biggs.
No.
You know who Gary Biggs is.
I know who Gary Biggs is, but I'm like, it's not like, oh my gosh.
You know him because you've met him now.
Correct.
And you know him now.
Yeah.
And he's a really cool guy.
Yeah.
And you guys talk about normal stuff that's happening in the world now. Ada knows him as a totally different person. Ada knows him from his competition days and when he was building really cool stuff.
Like I said, I feel like you guys have different perspective of like.
No, don't include me in this. I lived in a bubble, man. None of these people mean anything.
You were in that part, like Ada, Dog, and all the you guys create your own bubble.
There again, Richard Clark. Any ideas?
No idea.
Not a bit. Big name even I know that one, and I'll tell you later.
Yeah.
For sure, 100%. But there again. That's why this is such a sticky situation to be in, because how do you do this?
How do you pick?
How do you do this to solve the and there again, if you pick a bunch of guys like some of the names you've given up, nobody's gonna know who these people are, and then you got to be like, I don't know, got to take 20 minutes to explain each pick, and if you give it to all the new guys that are influential or have done strange things, like you give it to Ada for I don't know, Ada stuff. And it's like everyone knows who Ada is, and they go, "What?" And then you get some of the guys who go, "Why would you give it to him?" What about Richard Clark? Richard Clark did all this amazing stuff, and then
give it to Matt. Right? And it's like, okay,
who's that guy?
Exactly.
So yeah, it'll be interesting.
How are you gonna pick them?
Yeah. I mean, to me, I feel the only interest I have in this is just to see like how this goes. So we'll see. We'll see how what happens here. Yeah, Ada deserves it for his S2000 contributions alone. Yeah, I mean, I think it's great. Listen, anybody who gets any award in this industry deserves it because like this is a very difficult industry to be in, for sure. Lot of opinions.
A lot.
Lot of opinions.
Us and included. I'm the only one that I'm right. I don't care what they say.
How's your golf game?
Exactly.
You're not an 8. I don't care. You're more of you're like a 20. This guy sucks at golf.
Anyways.
So do I.
Me?
Yeah, you suck at golf.
No.
Yeah, dude, you were the only one that complains about going golfing.
I'm not.
I suck at this. I don't want to do. Okay, the only person that complained more than you is Gary.
Golf?
Yeah.
I go golfing with Sebastian.
Yeah, I know, but you still hated it.
I don't hate it.
Whatever.
Dude, whatever it is, fun things, I like to do it.
Anyways, that's it for the news, guys. Went a little long. I'm sorry. Hey, get on with your day. Have a wonderful time. We'll be back tomorrow, which is Saturday, for the final. Because we're leaving.
Final.
Well, the final for June. Yeah.
That's it.
Final for June.
Tomorrow.
Then we're off for vacation. So you guys, if we don't get to see you tomorrow, have a great weekend. If you're interested in seeing what's going on in the install bay, make sure to tune in to Instagram where we'll be talking about fun install bay stuff and answering more of your tech questions if you have them. We're here for you. You guys have a wonderful day. There's 2 days left, man, and I cannot wait till we get out of here because, oh, man.
Yes, sir.
Over it. You guys have a wonderful day.
Calm down.